Centerburg took on Northmor. We know how that happened last year.
Twice.
But yeah, one of the best games in the KMAC last year. Well, I'll say it was lived up to the hype as well, but in a different way that you're going to see in these highlights as we roll the clips. How about the paragliders coming
so
in
cool.
to start out the
was
day?
pumped to have this.
Yeah, so shout out Natalia Vilachenko and Nicole Condry landing over at the castle, bringing it in the right way as we start out the highlights and we see a 4th down and 1 on the opening drive. I am never doubting Andy Colella again. Miles Marshall takes it 63 yards. And Rich Porter, the AD, gets a nice high five from his man, Miles, who had a real big game in this one. You're going to see the second rushing touchdown as well for him just in the first quarter alone as the quarter winds down. 16-0 after two-point conversions are converted. Northmor, next drive, able to respond well to try and keep them within striking distance as Brad Bolin runs up on the football, makes the catch, gets into the end zone, and halves the deficit. We never showed two-point conversions, but I wanted to show a little bit of trickery as Bolin, the backup QB, takes a little deflection and also gives it off to Stockdale for the two-point conversion. But Jax Ballinger, how about it? He's a D1
Go to
recruit
West Virginia
for a reason. You see the beautiful play right there. You'll see that plenty more times next week as a top play. Stockdale on 4th down up the seam, able to find a touchdown. That would make it 22-14. 22-15. They went and kicked the extra point. Marshall, back to it. This is still the second quarter, folks. Fantastic game over at the Castle. Marshall gets his 3rd touchdown of the day. He wouldn't be done yet. And as we ring in the 3rd quarter, could it get any crazier than that first half?
A kickoff return in a Centerburg Northmor game? Is this one legal?
Brad Bolin able to break loose, gets to the inside, and yes, the answer to that question, Travis, is yes.
More like
it
a Brad
was
Bolin
legal.
ball there.
They kept it. The points counted. We sit in a 30-22 game. Blane Ball, it was your call of the night. Jukes out a man. Uses his speed to get all the way to the end zone here. Look at the athleticism, staying in bounds, able to get the touchdown. Ball, his only touchdown of the game. He would go ahead and go back to his running back, though. Marshall would run this one in. That's the last score of the game in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
And Northmor gets a late touchdown at the very end, actually with zeros on the clock. They score that final touchdown to make it 44-27. Win for Centerburg, and I just feel like they're going to start breaking away. It just has to be that way when they take down a Northmor team that went unbeaten in the KMAC.
They still have a really
good
good
defense. And they go
defense.
to their place and win it.
Yeah. It was about time to see Marshall go off like that. The first few weeks, they didn't need him as much. Maybe the Johnstown game, but Johnstown's a really good team. They lost in overtime to Mount Vernon tonight. But other than that game, Centerburg's doing what I expected Centerburg to do. They were young last year. They still made the playoffs. They had some extra practice because of that playoff extra 2 weeks. But, they just seem like they have a complete squad, Jonathan.
Yeah, so Northmor takes the loss here. A couple of empty possessions that they left on the table. They got close to scoring a few touchdowns, and that ended up being the difference today. So Northmor not able to get the win for Morrow County.